Hi, and welcome back to the Gaming Podcast, the podcast where two best friends talk about video games, nostalgia, and every single rail that we jump off of. My name is Stuart, and as always, I'm joined by the notorious, the illustrious, the magnificent Eduardo.
Oh, you better believe it. Man. Oh, sound effect. Oh, there we go. Get that party home going. I did mention earlier, it's like, you never know. I might need some sound effects. We found the
Hey,
perfect time
bring
for
it
a
down.
sound effect. Last week, I was thrown off. It was just Ed or Eduardo, whatever you just said. And I was like, no.
That's why I had to give it a little bit more pizzazz this week.
Yeah,
Had to
yeah,
add a little bit to it.
yeah, I was like ready to be like, yeah. And then it was like, yeah, I'm Ed.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
You know,
Thanks.
it's okay. We gotta keep each other on each other's toes. And sorry, I'm in a squeaky chair, so you might hear it do its thing, which is make squeaky
That's
noises.
ridiculous. We're a
Ridiculous. I know.
professional podcast over here.
I know
How
we're
dare
a
you?
professional podcast.
Yeah, and how dare you?
I know.
We make sound
I'm
effects with our
horrible.
mouths, and we have squeaky chairs, and I mean,
Squeaky
come on,
chairs. What is this?
this is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I'm fired. I guess I got our best. I go.
Yeah, I'm gonna replace you with another Ed.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck finding another one.
Oh no, I found one on eBay already.
Oh,
It's fine.
eBay. Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
works. That
yeah,
works. Or
90-day warranty.
oh,
You
nice,
know,
nice.
all that. Oh yeah, that's a good deal. Good
I didn't
deal.
even come with a warranty.
Exactly. That's why I
Yeah,
gotta upgrade a
an
little bit.
expired warranty, so yeah, you got screwed on that deal.
Oh, I know. That's why I gotta upgrade a little.
Yeah, I gotta upgrade to the Ed 2.0,
Oh yeah.
but until that day comes, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm just stuck, I guess.
You're just stuck. But anyways,
Warranty-less
yeah,
Ed, but
yeah.
anyways, welcome to the Odd Gaming Podcast.
Mhm,
And man, there's been a lot of gaming stuff going on, and I don't know if you've seen on our Instagram and maybe some other social medias, but we're
mhm.
definitely trying to ramp up the production value of Odd Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
One of the big ones that we were super excited for because it's been a long time coming. We've teased it
For a
for
long time.
months now.
Yep.
Is we finally got the sketch of our new logo, which you can see on our Instagram. You can see it on our YouTube profile. You should be able to see it on our podcast profile. It is absolutely amazing. It turned out better than we thought. I mean, what do you think of it?
It is amazing. It is super cool. Like, it is I wish I do not have that talent. Like, it's got that 90s Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style thing that we were going for. It is awesome. I'm super happy and very impressed with it. So, yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Absolutely. We got a lot of plans for it and a lot of things that we're going to do with that logo, but we're
Mhm.
super excited to get that sketch. You can definitely go see it on any of our social medias,
Yeah.
YouTube, all of that as well.
And
Definitely want to give a shout out to the artist, Keith
mhm.
from the 52
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
You did
Definitely
awesome.
go check them out as well, but he has crazy cool talent. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. We kind of gave him a rough idea what we wanted for it and gave us a very, unartistic rough ideas and said, "Hey, we love to merge, my love of PlayStation, Ed's love of the GameCube, and kind of mash those into like one controller, like one Unity playing it, and we want that like '90s graffiti, Fresh Prince of
Mhm.
Bel Air style." And I didn't. We had an idea what we wanted, but we didn't know how to turn out. But
Yeah,
it
no.
turned out. I mean, for me, it turned out better than I could have even dreamed of.
Oh, yeah, this is above and beyond what I could have ever come up with. And also, I don't have I can't give much advice on the podcast because we're still trying to figure this out. But definitely spend more than $20 on a logo.
Hey, our last one was classy.
Oh,
Okay,
it's classy. We should
she
just
worked
make.
the whole.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't even know how long
I
on it.
don't even know. But we should just like make random merch one day using that logo just for fun.
Oh, just for fun, little limited drop,
A limited supply run of just t-shirts or
Our
something. I don't
crappy
know.
logo T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, just with that $20 logo, $10 a piece.
Heck yeah! Fiverr is a great website,
Yep,
but you definitely get what you pay for.
100%.
And I
So,
think we got what we paid for. So hey, but now we got that upgrade. We've got a lot of plans with it, like we said, but definitely super excited. Definitely want to start the podcast out on a super high note. Just trying to add a little bit more class to the Odd Gaming
yep,
Podcast.
yep, yep. So, yeah. so thankful for the new logo. It is
Definitely.
awesome. It adds like a fresh like new excitement to the podcast. You know, it's been
Yes.
exciting, but I don't know. It's just like we're up another level. We're moving up. I guess that's why. It's just like I don't know. It's super cool. So super
It is.
happy and
Yeah, it looks
excited.
great. I mean, it's exactly what we wanted, if not more. So super
Yeah,
stoked. Again, shout out. Thanks, Keith from the
yeah. Thank
52
you, Keith.
podcast. Super appreciate it.
You are the man. You're awesome.
Heck yeah. But man, next kind of thing, I want to talk a little bit about the odd gaming, kind of not just the podcast, but we have moved on to YouTube as well.
Mhm.
So as of we're planning on releasing 2 videos in the next 2 weeks, 2 review videos. And as we start kind of getting our feet on the ground and kind of figuring everything out, we're going to start having a release schedule and doing different types of content. But our first couple videos are going to be video game reviews off of pretty recent video games. So we should have one out probably within the next week of when this episode drops, and then probably another one probably 2 or so weeks after that. So
Mm.
super excited for the YouTube thing. We've got a lot of ideas, but definitely would like to hear some comments and feedback on what people would like to see as well.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ideas for doing reviews, doing some like gaming discussions, not just like the podcast style, but like pick a specific topic and we discuss that in depth for a 10 to 15 minute video, some let's play stuff like that. But we'd love to hear some other ideas because we're definitely new to this, but we definitely like to experiment and try some different things that
Mhm.
could entertain y'all.
Yep, and be easy on us because we're still trying to figure this out. So yeah, it might be a little rough, but hey, we're
Hey,
we're learning.
also, if you got tips on editing and all that other stuff, if you're great at that, we'd love to hear it. I
Yep,
mean, we love constructive criticism.
yep,
Don't be a douche,
yeah. Don't be a troll.
but yeah, don't be that guy. But we love to get better together. Let's just say
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
And if you
We,
do want to be a douche, then you don't belong here.
yeah, go be a douche somewhere else.
Exactly. And that is my message of the day. The more you know.
The more you know. Do 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 do. I think I did the song. Yeah, close enough. Yeah,
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 yeah, that's close.
yeah,
That hits our high production value we're
yeah.
going
Oh
for.
yeah, that's the high production. This is why we're getting a new ad because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And order. Click.
And
Yep.
order and done. We're gonna
That is
send
you.
me. Yeah, we're just gonna send me back.
Yeah, I can't send you back though. I just got to throw you in a dumpster. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
almost just spit water out.
uh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
we're 8 minutes in and we've already gone off the rails. Oh
Yeah, I
man,
was literally just trying to get a drink of water, and I was just spat it over my computer, work computer, the wall, to the
nice.
window.
Hey,
Can't.
again, classy.
Yeah, classy. Yep. To the window, to the wall. You know the rest of the song.
Yeah, we're a
Yeah,
family podcast. We
yeah,
don't
we're a family podcast. I don't know where I'm going with this.
exactly. But you know what I am going with is you need to go check out our YouTube channel in a few weeks when we drop some new videos. So
Hmm. I
there you
subscribe.
go. Hey, we'd love more. We're super excited for it. We're kind of excited for the next chapter of it. Again, we're going to keep doing the podcast. The podcast isn't going anywhere. It's the foundation of everything.
Hmm.
Podcast is going to get better and better and better. Um, but we're trying to find the identity for where the podcast is going to sit on the content we talk about on the podcast versus like some of the videos and different other discussions that we have as well. So, um, one thing I had an idea, and you know what? I'll say it on the podcast too. And if we just want to spitball it right now, let's figure this out, and we can just put the challenge on the table in front of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
You
yeah.
good with that?
I'm good.
Okay. So here's my idea. You played a lot of different games than I have, and we've talked about that on the podcast before.
Hmm.
We had a lot of different growing up with different types of video games. We played a lot of the same, but very different. I
Hmm.
pick one game that you haven't played that I think you should absolutely play, and you do the same.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
We both play those, and we either have a discussion on the podcast about it, or we do a video podcast about it. One of the two.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I think let's do it. I'm down.
Okay. Okay. So
It's
if you
good
want to think
spitball.
about them, yeah, I mean, hey, why not? But I'm thinking let's find some diversity. I know it's we've talked about, hey, getting out of your comfort zone and gaming, finding
Mhm.
something that you didn't think you'd like. I know that's been a big thing we've talked about for the last 6 months with like the Souls-like and parody games and all that stuff. And now it's become our new favorite genre and
Yeah,
obsession.
yeah,
Um, but I might as well explore. There's thousands of tens of thousands of video games out there, and there's ones that got lost in the monotony of different video games that I've played throughout my time. And since I was more PlayStation, you were more Nintendo and
mhm,
Sega.
yep,
It was we hit different games and saw different things. So
yep,
I think it's a good way to explore different franchises and games and styles that we
mhm.
didn't get a chance to.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm down. I think I've already kinda thought of a game that I'm not gonna say it
Okay.
now, but I got a game that just popped in my head that I don't think you've played, that I've played.
Okay.
A
We'll
lot of
uh we'll talk about it after the podcast, and then what we'll do is when we decide, we'll post it on the Instagram,
Yep,
and we'll post what we're each gonna play, and then from there we'll play the game, and then have some sort of content or discussion or something about it.
yes,
So I
we'll
think
be sophisticated gentlemen talking about
sophisticated.
sophisticated gentlemen, yes. I'm gonna wear a monocle and a top hat
Ooh.
when we have the discussion. I'm gonna grow a mustache, even though I
Oh.
can't really grow facial hair, but I'm gonna try, or I'll just, like, buy one and just put it on.
just just buy one of those big thick ones
Yeah,
that moves when you laugh.
yeah, and then I'm gonna just have a I don't know, guess I'll, have, like, a British voice or something or, I don't know, we'll see, but, yeah, I'm gonna be a
That's the
sophisticated gentleman.
sophistication. Oh yeah, that's a peak of sophistication right
The
there.
peak
So.
sophistication. Yes, 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 quite
Oh
good.
yes, quite. Mm-hmm.
Quite good. I don't know where I'm going with this. Here we go again.
Mm,
Going off the tracks, yes, but
indecently.
in a dignified way. Yes. Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
off the rails like every podcast.
House, yeah. Pish posh, my boy. Yes.
Oh, now I gotta choose like the most like weird, raunchy like game I can find just
There's a
to
few of
unclass.
there's a few of those out there.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, you got like a Conker's Bad Fur Day, but you've played that, so I mean,
Yep. Haven't beat it,
oh, okay.
but I've
Well, it's
gotten,
gonna be something that we've never
yeah,
touched.
yeah.
Never touch, and we'll come up with a few because if it is one, be like, oh, I have played it.
Mhm.
We'll have some other ideas, but awesome. Well, there we go. See, I appreciate y'all listening to that, and we hashed it out and we got some new stuff. So
Yeah, so, look at our Instagram, because 'cause we'll definitely have a post soon.
absolutely, yeah, I'm excited for that. So,
Mhm.
anyways, video games. What have you been playing this week?
Um, let's see. I haven't played much. I've played a little Elden Ring. I haven't been able to play too much. I just been kind of busy. But yeah, Elden Ring, and that's pretty much it. I think I've put almost. I'm at 64 hours now, and probably halfway through the game. I'm still in Volcano Manor. I've just been doing some quests for Volcano Manor and kind of just like going all over the place wherever it's telling me to go to. But yeah, Volcano Manor. So I think that's about halfway. But I'm hopefully about to be out of Volcano Manor and moving on to the next thing. So
Nice,
yeah, that's where I'm at. Fun
nice.
stuff.
Hey, Elden Ring's a massive game, so it takes a ton of time, especially if you explore everything.
Hmm. Yeah, like I know I've mentioned it multiple times. It is overwhelmingly big, but like in a good way, not in a bad way. It's a
Yeah.
lot, but it's super cool. Like it's every day I'm like, oh, that's new. That's cool. How did I miss that? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
um, it still blows my mind. So that's what I've been playing this week. What have you been playing?
Awesome. Yeah, I've last week I really got into it. This week I played a little bit of it. I haven't had as much time, but I've been diving a lot of time in the Stellar Blade.
Ooh, Stellar Blade. I remember when they showed the preview for that. Whenever PlayStation had
Their state of play.
their state of play. When was that? Like a few months ago, and
I think that
it
was
looked,
the January one, I believe.
yeah, that's
I think
crazy.
it
Has it
was.
already
I
been
know.
that long?
It has.
Yeah, but Stellar
It
Blade,
has.
it looked really good during like whenever they showed it. I know we are both intrigued by it, but
Mhm.
yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it so far? Since I haven't played it yet, I know you have, but I haven't played it yet. I
Yeah.
want to pick it up, but what are your thoughts on it so far?
Man, so like when I saw the state of play, it was one of those games that kind of I heard a little bit about it, but then they did the full release trailer, and there's something about it that just kind of like sung to me. I'm like,
Because
this game looks really cool.
'Cause I also know, like, that style of game is not always necessarily your style, like, type of game, like
No, and it's really cool how it mixes a bunch of different styles. So first off, I'm really enjoying the game. The game is absolutely incredible. I'm loving my time with it. It's a relatively pretty deep game when it comes to combat. It's super fun, tons to explore. Like definitely loving my time. Can't wait to kind of keep progressing in it and figure out the entirety of the story and everything. But so far, I'm loving it.
Mhm,
But gameplay wise, it's like a mix between like a flashy game, like a say like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry, but it gives you like the combat prowess of like a Sekiro as well. So it's very you get rewarded very heavily for parries. You get rewarded very heavy for like perfect dodges, stuff like that. So it's very much like reading your enemy, reading move sets, trying to figure out the best times to go in and do attacks. They give you a ton of they give you a lot in your arsenal where it's not just like a like a Sekiro or something like that, where you don't
mhm,
have as much to be able to do it. You have a lot of special attacks you gain, a lot of different things, skill trees that you go through as you progress through the game. That gives you a lot of different combat scenarios. So you can kind of make the game your own when it comes to the fighting style, but the fighting is very tight, very addicting. The parrying is really nice. I find myself parrying most of the time. Like there's a trophy for parrying an enemy like 300 times, and I think I got it within the first like 4 or 5 hours of playing
mhm,
because all I was doing was just perfect parrying enemies. Um, so they made that combat incredibly, incredibly tight. Uh, the the combat itself is super fun. There's a lot of areas in different areas, so there's a lot of exploration, a lot of side missions that actually do add to
mhm,
the game. They're not just like there's some fetch quests, obviously, but they're not all just like go fetch this person.
mhm,
Um, the the overall environment and the different areas you go into are stunning. I mean, the
mhm.
art style, they did a great job. They give you a lot of diversity. Everywhere feels different,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. The collectibles are awesome too.
mhm,
Like I find myself, and I'm not a big like go collect everything type of person. It's just it feels monotonous and redundant most of the time. But the so you I mean you find it early in the game, but basically your collectible in the game is a soda can. And there's different soda cans, drink cans, beer cans, whatever it is throughout the game. And they each have like a unique name, like a unique like description on what it is. And I'm excited to find one each time because it's very creative on what they've called all these and the different ones that they have. But as you collect them, I think it's every 7 you collect, you get some sort of different upgrade.
that's cool.
So you do upgrade your character every time you collect them. So it gives you an incentive to collect, and then you get like a limited edition or special suit if you collect all of them.
Yeah, it seems like
So
there's a lot of different suits in that game that you can collect.
there's a lot. I think there's over 30 different suits, and then you also have different glasses you can buy, earrings you can buy. You get a couple different for your teammates. Yeah, there's a lot. You can even change your hair. You can change your hair color, your hairstyle. I mean, they went all out for sure.
Mhm, that's cool. So, I think you meant, as far as the story goes, what do you think how do you think the story? Because I know we talked about this a little with IGN and the review they gave it. We weren't like we're kind of I know you're kind of like, about the review, so
Yeah.
I know IGN kind of bashed on the story and the characters, but what do you think so far? Do you, like, fully agree with them, disagree with them? What are your
I
thoughts
I
on that?
personally don't think the story is that bad. Where a game that has that good of combat deserves a 7.
Mhm,
Like for me, it just doesn't. Now it has that like when you're in your kind of hub area where a lot of your quests are and collectibles and stuff, or like item upgrades and stuff like that.
mhm,
It feels like very much like a Japanese or Korean game,
mhm,
um, where you kind of go around. There's different areas you go to upgrade and like a little city, and it's good. But I felt like the voice acting. I've listened to the Korean voice acting and I've done the English voice acting. I did not think the English voice acting was that bad out of a lot of other Japanese and Korean games I've played. The For me the voice acting was decent. It wasn't obviously the greatest, but it did invoke emotion. It did sound good. It was gripping enough where you wanted to pay attention and listen to them. So I didn't have a problem with that. Story wise, it's predictable. Let's just say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like it's a good story. It's entertaining. There's some great stuff. Some of the side stuff that really gets brought into the story, I feel, is better than the main story. But the main story is it's color by numbers, basically. It's
Mhm.
kind of what you expect from a story like this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's not done well. It's just it's so far. I'm about halfway ish through the game. There hasn't been any major like oh crap moments.
Mhm.
Um, there was one I was already expecting. It just was earlier in the game than I thought, but that's about it. But no, I don't think the game deserves a 7 based off the story and the voice acting, which in my opinion is not that bad
Yeah.
at all. Like I think it is I mean for that type of game, the voice acting is a lot better than a lot of other games out there that have gotten a lot higher scores from other places. So for me, it's not a detractor by any means. It does not take away from the game. And that's where I would see where, the score would change or my feelings on the game would change if it really detracted. Like, oh, when they're speaking, I can't play this game.
Mhm.
Or this story is just bad.
Yeah.
I've never thought that.
But also, I think with those types of games, like, I sometimes think you expect, like, some sort of cheesiness when it comes to the English voice
Sure.
acting. I feel that's just kind of part of it, so
And there is, but it doesn't feel like cheesy to be cheesy, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, it's good. I don't have any issue with that.
Mhm.
But overall, I mean, I've been loving my time with the game. I can't wait to keep playing, and hopefully, next podcast or so, I have the game completed or almost completed. But yeah, I've been having a ton of fun with Stellar Blade. It's definitely for me. It's better than the hype I put onto it.
Mhm.
Like I've for me, the game is a lot better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. It's always nice when you get a game and it's way better than what your expectations were. It makes the game that much
Oh,
more fun.
absolutely. Yeah, it's been a blast. I've loved it. I mean, when I first got it, I mean, I think I played it on Saturday for like 10 hours straight or something. I mean, I was absolutely hooked into it.
Yeah, no, that the game, it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully, maybe by next podcast, I'll just at least have the game. That way I can just
Yeah,
start playing it
yeah.
one day. But it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it's got, yeah, from what I've seen, from what you've told me, a
Mhm.
lot to explore. It seems like it's a pretty huge world. It seems
It's
very,
bigger than I thought it would be.
yeah,
I
lots
didn't think
of,
there would be as much exploring
mhm.
and as many areas as they've actually introduced into the game. So that's been a pleasant surprise as well.
Yeah, no, like I said, it looks cool. I can't wait to get into it. It looks like fun, fast-paced action gameplay. The bosses look really cool. Just the colors on it. No, it seems like they've done an incredible job with the game. You got to give it up. Like these Korean studios, they've been coming out with some great stuff. Like,
I agree. You got Liza P and now
yeah,
Stellar Blade. So I'm loving it. I like these little studios have that just did a mobile game. That's
hmm
that's all Shift Up has done before Stellar
yeah,
Blade. Now they've made an absolutely amazing console game. So I'm absolutely loving it. It's great. If anyone's negative about it, uh, for me, like I don't see any of the negativity that comes around it. Now, obviously, people have probably heard some of the negativity based off of the sexual nature of the main protagonist, but that for me does not detract from anything.
yeah,
Sure, that's the way they made the character look, but it is not that type of game at all.
hmm
It is. I mean, it's a very, very good game.
yeah,
Like so far, it's my favorite game of the year
hmm
by far. So I'm definitely looking forward to more. There's a couple other games I want to play this year as well. See if they stack up, but so far, Stellar Blade is definitely at the top tier for
it's
sure.
a stellar game.
Uh,
Yeah, that,
we talked about classing up the place. Come
yeah,
on,
I know. Yeah, and here I go. But yeah, there you go. Stellar Blade. I haven't got
absolutely.
it, but I will. Sounds awesome.
Hey, definitely, you'll like it a lot. It is the parrying is a lot tighter and a lot better than Liza P in my opinion.
I feel like we're gonna be, if not, yeah. if not already, we're gonna be parry experts because I feel everything has parry these
Oh
days.
yeah.
When I get to a game where I can't parry, I'm probably gonna be like, "What's going on? This is weird." Just because
Oh,
I'm
I ran into
so
it a
used
few
to
weeks ago, and
parrying
it's I
everything
kept
these
hitting
days.
the parry button, and there was no parry or block in the game, and I'm like, "Oh,
Mhm,
what am I doing? Like, I got to block and parry."
mhm.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah, no, pairing's fun. I used to I used to not be big on it, but now I'm like, "Oh, actually, this is cool."
I
So,
love
yeah.
it now.
Yeah, it's weird. You just gotta it's crazy how,
It's
you can find out things about yourself gaming, and, I guess
oh,
pairing is one of those things.
yeah, try new things. That's it.
Yeah, trying new things. And also getting
Yep.
frustrated. Sometimes I do tell myself, "Why am I playing Elden Ring?" This just
Oh
frustrates
yeah,
me because last couple weeks ago, I was playing, and I literally just wanted to throw my control against the wall, and my wife told me to go to McDonald's to go pick up food. I think I told the story, but yeah. There's days where I'm like, "Why do I do this to myself? Why can't I just
yeah.
play a happy game that won't just piss me off?" But
There's something just like I don't know when you've struggled on a boss for
mhm.
hours,
Yep.
multiple tries,
Days,
and
weeks.
there's something about that final where you beat that boss after trying your butt off on it, and you finally beat it or finally figure out their move set, and you finally make some progress. That to me is more rewarding and gives me just a bigger like video game high than just playing a fun relatively mid difficulty level game.
Mhm.
Like there's just something about it where you start learning the combat, you start learning the move sets, you start you know trying to develop different skills or using different strategies, and you start figuring it out and you start getting better. That's what is so addicting to me about those games.
Mhm.
Now, you still have those frustrating moments where you want to chunk a controller and scream at it and insult it and all that stuff. But there's just something just special about that I really enjoy with those difficult games like an Elden Ring or Eliza P.
Mhm. I can agree with that. So yeah,
But
but after Elden Ring, I keep on telling I'm gonna play a game that's not a Souls-like game. I'm gonna do something easier, but we'll see what happens. We'll
we'll
see.
see. I don't think that's gonna happen. But
Probably
hey, I
not.
mean, you
Yeah.
can dream.
Yeah, we can dream because now I know we also both own now just all the Souls games because we ordered them a few months ago because they were really cheap.
Yeah,
So we'll
I'm gonna
see.
set it myself. So because hey, by the time you beat Elden Ring, the DLC will probably be out. So then you
Yeah.
got to play the DLC.
And
So
then they're like, "Dang it, I want to take a break from Elden Ring." Guess not.
nope,
Yeah, no. So I
you got to
guess
play Shadow of the Erd Tree. Sorry.
yeah, I guess I better buckle up again. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, Souls games. They're great. They're fun.
Heck yeah.
At
But
least I tell myself.
hey, yeah, no, they are fun. They are fun. But I want to pivot a little bit as well. I mean, we've talked about TV shows, right? So the Fallout show we loved. We talked about it last
Mhm,
episode. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, definitely do. We had a pretty deep dive discussion about the Fallout TV show
mhm,
and then our kind of new impressions of Elden Ring. So definitely go check that out.
mhm,
But when I was watching it, it got me excited for other video game content. And I
mhm.
realized I never watched Twisted Metal.
I have not
And
watched
so yeah, so I went and watched it on Peacock, and it was it was awesome. I loved it. It was a great show. It invoked all the quirkiness and humor of the video game. They brought a lot of the characters in from the game as well, which is great. And I haven't played the game in forever, so I was having to go and remember and do some research during the show. But I really liked it. It was a very good show. Definitely raunchier humor. Definitely a lot of gore and cussing and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
you can handle that type of thing. I highly recommended Twisted Metal. It was a really really fun watch.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't watched it because I don't have Peacock, but I think I actually have I checked through my emails, and I think I actually have a free, 6-month subscription, so I'm just gonna
Ooh.
do that to watch it.
And I
Might
would
as well.
highly recommend watching
Yeah,
Twisted
it's
Metal.
6 months free. I might as well do it.
Hey, exactly. And I mean, there's only 10 episodes and they're about 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
an easy watch.
And it got, what is it? Anthony Mackie? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie. He does an amazing job.
He's a funny dude, like, he really is
He
funny.
is hilarious, and he nails the character. So he plays a newer character called John Doe. Basically, he's just a delivery guy because it's the end of the world,
Mhm.
and he plays such a funny, sarcastic, witty, just character in this show. He really does make the show. I will say, Sweet Tooth. They they did a phenomenal job with Sweet Tooth.
Dude, you can't go
Uh,
wrong with
they
Sweet Tooth.
they put all the like if you don't know anything about Twisted Metal, you've seen Sweet Tooth. You know who he is. You
Mhm,
see his ice cream truck with his big bobblehead on there and his flaming hair, and you know who Sweet Tooth is.
mhm.
They did a really, really good job of casting and then just writing for Sweet Tooth.
Actually, just thought of a funny story that deals with Twisted Metal. Is
Oh,
Yeah. It was when I was, because I think this was more my introduction to Twisted Metal was around this time. I was probably maybe junior high, 5th grade, middle school, whatever you call that, whatever time period that is, however old I
yeah,
was. I was a little
depends on where you're at.
Yeah, I was a little Ed, but it was around that time, and then, I grew up when I was little, I was I started Catholic, and I'll and I'll we're I promise I'm going somewhere with this, but we went and it was, we'd always go to different houses to do the rosary and whatnot, and I'd get really bored every time I went. I would go because my mom would like, "Hey, you're gonna do the rosary with us?" I'd be like, "Fine, I'll go," even though I didn't want to because I was a kid and it was just hard for me to stay focused. Well, there's one house we went to, they had some kids that were about my age, and I was like, "Mom, can I please just not be in here? Can I just go play video games with the kids?" And she's like, "Fine, I'll let you go this time." And I was like, "Awesome." So I went into the room with the kids that were my age, became friends with them, and the game that they introduced me to while my mom was doing the rosary with all the other ladies was Twisted Metal. So while my mom was praying the rosary, I was playing Twisted Metal.
Oh,
It was a lot of fun. It was great. And that was my introduction was my mom doing the rosary, me and another and playing Twisted Metal. So that
I
was
would
my
never put
introduction.
a rosary with Twisted Metal in my life, but you know what? That works. It
It's
makes sense.
odd.
It's definitely
Yeah, you would not expect a rosary, praying, and then, yeah, Twisted Metal being involved with it, but I remember that vividly, and I just remember there's, like, 3, 4 of us just gathered around the TV in the room just playing Twisted Metal, and we were just having the time of our lives. It was awesome.
man, that's fun.
Yeah,
God, those PS1 Twisted Metal games were so good too.
mhm. Those are great times,
That's
great
a
times.
fun game, especially one of those like it's a pick up and play. Like it's not
Oh,
crazy
yeah,
difficult. You kind of figure out everybody, you figure out what character you like, but it's one of those you could go to, a random stranger's house or a friend's house and pick up and just
yep.
start blasting each other.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
It brought all of us, 4 kids that were strangers to each other together, and then we all became friends
Exactly. Hey,
over
there you go.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
because of a rosary and Twisted Metal.
And Twisted Metal, yeah, it was a magical night.
It sounds like it, but
I
I
probably
will
needed
say that what was that?
I said I probably needed to pray and do the rosary after playing Twisted Metal, but, you know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's what you play it, you do your thing, and then you go do the rosary afterwards, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what everybody does.
Yep. Oh, yeah, 100%, that's exactly what everyone does. So, yeah, there you go, that's my funny little story. Random.
Ah, that's
It
great.
just popped into my head while you're talking about Twisted Metal.
Now I really wanna play the games. I already wanted to play the games, but now it's just
Mm.
like, I need to play them again. It's been so long.
Maybe that's one thing we
I
can
only got to play
maybe
them at
that's
friends' houses.
maybe that's an idea for streaming. Maybe as we just, play
Maybe.
some Twisted Metal and we just
I'm down. I am 100% down.
easy
I'll play
game to
some
play.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah, do some Twisted Metal. There you go, another idea. Boom.
We'll play the original.
Yeah, gotta play the original, gotta start with the
Original.
original.
The original, and then you had the one on the PS3. I remember we played that one in college together,
Yeah,
actually,
I do remember that one, yeah.
and they
Oh,
remade that one. I know it was fun.
yeah.
It wasn't groundbreaking or
Yeah, I don't
anything, but
remember
it
us
was.
playing it too much, but I do remember playing it.
I think we rented it.
Mhm,
If I recall, I don't
probably.
think we ended up purchasing it.
Yeah, we probably got it at Hastings or something.
Uh, Rip. Rest in peace,
RIP to
Hastings.
Hastings, yep.
If you know Hastings, you know.
Yep, if you know, you know.
That's
If
all.
not,
You
then,
know.
I feel sorry for you, but
Yeah, Hastings was magical. It was like a It was like a Blockbuster that grew up and then put a bunch of other random junk in there as well.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you go in and buy a book, buy a video game, rent a movie, buy a skateboard,
Mhm.
buy a random cheap guitar,
Yep.
buy some random toys out of nowhere, get
Mhm.
a cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
leave.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
was Hastings was so magical.
It was, and you'd have different ages in there because you'd have, like, older people going in there to get a book and have some
Oh yeah,
coffee. Then you'd have people like us going in there to, look at video games, get random toys, whatever, just and spend hours in there and still get some coffee maybe, you
oh
know,
yeah.
for
No,
those late night
you,
studying that I never did. Um,
oh yeah, yeah. That place was not a good place to study because I get a coffee and then I rent a video game and then we play all night and not study at all.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and I would still
you
do
can
the
tell.
exact same thing, so
Oh no, it was fantastic, but the demographic and the overall like variety of people that were at Hastings, it varied so many different types. I mean, you had everything from like the book nerds to
which is my
the
wife.
video game kids. Yeah, it was, and it was weird because it was all segmented. So
Mhm,
you had like the book section was in like one quadrant, and then the videos were on like the far wall in a separate quadrant,
mhm.
and then the video games were in the middle, and then you had random weird junk kind of like scattered in between everything else.
Yeah, you kinda had, like, some random, like, stuff you could maybe find at, like, Spencer's Gifts, just
Oh yeah,
random things like
an
that.
aisle of random stuff.
Yeah, and then yeah, just random stuff. They had, like, I think, Jesus walking on water was one of the
Oh
things
yeah,
they had, just yeah, just random stupid
a
stuff.
really good T-shirt selection.
Oh, yeah, they had an awesome t-shirt selection,
Oh,
which speaking of t-shirts, Five Below has some awesome t-shirt selections.
that they do. I found some bangers at Five Below.
I went the other day and looked through their t-shirt, and they had a Batman shirt, but
Ooh,
they didn't actually have the Batman shirt that I wanted. They had the display thing up, but they didn't actually have the shirt, so I was sad, but I just need
that's
to go
super
back.
sad.
Maybe they'll have it this time.
They'll hear the podcast and they'll be like, "Oh, we got to stock this."
Yeah, yeah, but man, I miss Hastings.
I do too. The
I
good old days.
the good old days, but, that and Blockbuster, but who knows, maybe Blockbuster is maybe trying to make a comeback, like, I know we've mentioned before, the website's up and running again,
Yeah,
but that's
it's
about it.
just it's one of those things, man. Like the whole rental business is it's basically dead.
Mhm, it
Like
is.
you can't do that, and then they would have to come up with some absolutely amazing streaming service, which they tried, but
Mhm,
Netflix destroyed them, and
yep.
they won out that war. So it'd be cool to see it come back, but it's one of those things that I don't know if they can find their footing again.
Yeah, and it just still won't be the same as what Blockbuster used to be, it was just
No,
or
there's something magical where you had a Blockbuster or whether you had a Hastings or whatever.
mhm,
There was something so great about a Friday night, and you go and you might pick up your favorite fast food or pick up your favorite meal, and then you go rent a game and a movie for the weekend, and you just that's all you do all weekend. There's
mhm,
something great about that for the
mhm,
variety of like I love digital. The fact that I can sit on my couch and I can have hundreds of thousands of games at my fingertips. But
mhm.
there's something about like seeing the cover art and reading the game and seeing everything there in the rental store and then grabbing it. There's something different about that. The
Oh,
tangible aspect.
yep.
It was an event. I mean, it was an event that you did on a Friday night
Oh,
that
yeah,
you look forward to all week.
and you would do chores, whatever you needed to do to make sure that you could go
Oh yeah,
to your, favorite movie rental place, which mine was
definitely.
Blockbuster, but I also lived in a small town too where they also didn't have a Blockbuster, and so I had a
Team
movie
Family
gallery.
Video,
I had a movie gallery.
movie gallery. Okay.
Yeah. It was, it didn't say it wasn't there for too long, like, they built one in the town I was living in, and then, like, 3 years later, it just, all the movie galleries shut down, but it was cool.
Oh,
It was still fun. It still had that it's still the same, like, had that smell, that Blockbuster
oh yeah.
vibe to it. It was awesome.
You got to have that.
Yeah.
Man, it was when I lived in Alaska for a few years. We didn't have like a Blockbuster or anything from what I remember, but where we go for our rentals was a grocery store called Cars, and it was great because on Friday night we go and they had like a almost like a little mini food court as soon as you walked in. So
Mhm.
they had like a Chinese food area, Italian food area, like American finger foods, like chicken tenders, jalapeno poppers, and a
Mm,
couple others, a deli, stuff like that. So we go in and we'd all pick what we wanted, and then we go into the back of the store, the back corner, and that's where all of the video games, the rental movies, all that were. So there
mhm,
was like a whole ritual of like Friday night, we go in, we pick up our food, we go back, we pick up a game, pick up a movie, we go home, we eat together, and
mm,
then we'd separate. So we would maybe go in, me and my sister would go into the basement and watch a movie or play a game, and then my parents would go watch their movie.
yep.
And there was just something like you knew what you were getting, you were finding something different, but it was something you'd look forward to every week. It was
Oh,
like those small little rituals of like, we're gonna go get something, go get that Chinese food that you like, or go eat a bunch of jalapeno poppers or whatever it is,
mhm.
and go rent a movie
Oh, yeah.
or rent a game.
I forgot that when I was a kid also there was a this is a different town as well, but I forgot there was a video rental place inside the Albertsons. I do not remember what the
Huh,
video rental place was, but there was, and you can rent movies, video games. So I'd go there too sometimes. My mom
interesting.
be grocery shopping, and then it'd be like, "Hey, mom, can I please rent something?" Sometimes she'd say no, but you know, sometimes she'd say yes, and those were
I
great
don't
too.
know,
She'd say yes.
rentals were just so cheap too.
Oh,
I mean, it was so easy, and then if you had like the rewards, or if I remember they would do like if you rented 3 or 4 things at a time, it'd
hmm,
be like $7 for all of them or
yeah.
something crazy cheap. But
Oh yeah.
um, now rental games, do you know of a game that you rented multiple times
Oh yeah. It
and
was.
beat?
Oh, 100%. It was definitely Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. That was the one
Okay,
I rented a lot, and then I eventually bought the game from the rental place when the local rental place shut down in my town
nice.
because Movie Gallery came into town, and so this place they couldn't compete, and so they shut down. And I immediately, when I found out they were selling their stuff, I told my mom, "We need to go to this place." I don't even remember what the rental place was called, but I was like, "We need to go because I need to go see if they have the game." And I bought Ocarina of Time, and that
Nice.
Ocarina of Time that you've seen for the 64 that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to have, that I eventually got rid of because I was an idiot, but it's okay because you got me another
Oh,
copy for a
you're
Christmas
welcome.
gift.
You're
Yep,
welcome. Yeah, yeah.
that was the one. That was the one that I rented all the time, and I finally
Nice.
bought, and it was awesome buying it because it was I don't know, it was just like that game is what really I think like, I loved gaming even then, but that game is what really just opened my eyes. I don't know, just my love of gaming there just really just exploded. Like that was the game that was like, boom, that was my aha, like, yes, I am a gamer. This is what I am. It was when I got that Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's the where I can be like, yep, I'm a gamer nerd. This is it. I love gaming. I want to make this part of my life. So yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah, that game was just so revolutionary, and I
Mhm,
know a lot of people had that same thing because it was just we came from 2D just scrolling across the
mhm,
platform and maybe some cool backgrounds to starting to have 3D, like 3D Mario
mhm.
64, and then you have something like Ocarina of Time that comes out where it's like fully explorable, so many different vast like 3D worlds, like you feel like you're in the worlds.
Yep.
I mean, that game is awesome.
Oh yeah.
That game is incredible, and that was a game I missed out on. That was one that you told me I had to play,
Yeah. It
and I played that one on the 3DS when they re-released it on it.
mhm. And it's an incredible game, like, for it
It
being,
is
for the 64, it's a huge world, like, the fact that they were able to put that
surprisingly.
it's surprisingly a huge world. Obviously, it's small compared to, like, what today we have, but back
It's no
then,
Tears of the
that
Kingdom, but
was massive. Yeah, it's not a Breath of the
yeah,
Wild or anything like that, but
no,
still
but
massive. For that time, that was huge.
the fact that you were able to do a game at that level with the 3D stuff being so new at that time
Mhm,
too, and having that vast of an open world, that unique of different areas. I mean, it felt like a real living world for
mhm.
something that came out on the 64, and it was the first of its kind.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that game it was revolutionary
Yeah,
for sure.
and there's still lots of cool, like, hidden things that you could do, like hidden secrets and stuff that was in that game, so, yeah, it was revolutionary for sure.
Yeah.
But, now, what was your game?
Man, so I we've talked about it. I have really bad video game ADD. I It's hard for me to just sit down and beat games. I've gotten better at it, but as a kid, it was absolutely horrible. So for me, there was not a lot of games that I actually rented over and over and over and over again because I kept wanting to see new games. So I would rent games. I found a lot of different games that I would not have played otherwise
Mhm.
from rentals. These are games that I wouldn't have bought. The games like that I always wanted every time they came out new ones, like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Pokemon. Like you release a new one of those, I want it. Like those are my games. But I'd say the some of the weird ones, Toomba was one that I rented. I rented that one actually a few times. Never beat it, but really like Toomba. Can't wait for the re-release of that when they
Yep.
remaster it. But that one was a lot of fun. I got introduced to the Gex series
Mhm.
from rentals.
Mhm.
That was one I rented multiple times as well. That's a I that franchise should have kept going.
Yeah, I feel it's an underrated
It's definitely a
franchise.
product of the '90s.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it, but it was a fun game. Like, yeah, some of the humor hasn't aged well, but it was fun.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I'm trying to think of some others. I played a lot of like the stuff that just looked unique. Like
Yeah.
if you had a really cool cover art
Mhm.
or there was an awesome like PlayStation Underground article about a game or something like that, I was gonna be into it.
Mhm.
So that was a lot of the stuff that I would rent. Was just things that would stand out and looked unique, but stuff I wouldn't necessarily have bought.
Mhm.
They weren't in my like core like I need to ask for this for my birthday or for good grades or for Christmas or whatever
So
type of game.
it seems like when it came to renting, I was more of like the mainstream. Like I did get some cool, unique games, but
Yeah.
I'd get more of the mainstream, the popular games. You're more of like the underground, like no one knew
I
about
was
type
finding different
game.
stuff.
Yeah, different
Yeah, I mean,
things.
you were buying, the Marios and the Zeldas and
Yeah,
Donkey Kongs, and I was getting, the Sony equivalents,
yeah.
the Spyros and the Crash Bandicoots. Uh, but yeah, it was games that I wouldn't have otherwise bought. But I mean, I found some great games. Like Toomba was fantastic.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that one. There's one. I'm gonna have to look it up. I can see it. I want to say it's not a Mega Man game, but the character looks like Mega Man. I'll
Bomberman.
have to, it wasn't Bomberman. No,
Uh,
no, that's too easy. Come on.
it was worth a shot. I have no idea.
No, I'd have to research and see. I can see the cover art in my head. I just can't remember the game, but that was for sure one. Yeah, Toomba, Gex, those were a lot. Dragon Ball Z later on in life, Dragon Ball Z games, but I'd rent those because I'd be able to beat them in a Sunday afternoon
Mhm.
because they were just so easy.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'd get a Dragon Ball Z game, we'd come home from church, eat lunch, and then I'd get the go to Blockbuster on the way or whatever and get a game. And yeah, I'd beat it in like 3-4 hours. And I'm like, good thing I didn't, spend 30, 40, $50 on
Oh
this.
yeah. And
But
also,
they're fun. I mean, they're
Dragon
fun
Ball Z
games.
games are fun because they're really fast. Like it felt like you're
They
just
are.
watching the show, but you were actually just able to interact with it. They were very fast paced, like super fast
Wow.
fighting. Like it was awesome.
100%. Yeah, they were fun. Like I didn't regret it. It's just I'm glad I didn't buy them
Oh
because I
yeah.
beat it so fast. But great rental games
Hmm.
by far.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's like I said, I don't know. There's something about renting video games. It's
Hmm.
it's long gone, but you know we at least got to be a part of it. So that's a great
Yeah,
time to be
there's
alive.
just something like I don't know. There's something different about it, and we could talk about it forever. But if you know, you know.
If you know, you do know.
If you know, you know. That's it. But
Yep.
yeah, good old Blockbuster.
Hmm. I'm
It
also
just
thinking about since we're like clearly kind of on random tangents about video games, but this has to deal kind of with amusement parks, but still video games, and that's the new Epic universe at Universal because they've got Mario
yes,
and they've got Donkey Kong, and I'm really excited about the Donkey Kong coaster because it's the mine car,
so cool,
and that looks
so cool.
amazing. And I'm just gonna speak about it just because it still deals with video games, but
Do it.
like if you haven't seen the video for the ride, like I think it's the first of its kind. Like they may literally make it seem like you're jumping off the rails just like in the game. It has like this little arm thing that sticks out on the side and is connected to the cart, which is the actual, I guess, what keeps you on the track. But yeah, they're bringing that and making it a reality where you get to ride the minecart, hop over the tracks, and it looks super cool. Like if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube. There's a million videos about it now, but I'm very excited about that game. And I know we've talked about it. We're hoping they do something with the with the Kong collectible letters. I don't know how they would do it, but it'd be cool if they did something with it.
It would be. Yeah, I as soon as I saw that, like, and I saw they were doing the minecart, I was like, oh, that would have made. I mean, I've been saying that forever, but yeah, that it would make a great ride. But
Hmm.
the way they're doing it, where you're actually like jumping over the rails and everything, is super cool.
Hmm.
It's so cool. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, because and I think yeah, Florida's that's the only one that's gonna have it. It's just at that park. Eventually, they might do it
Is
at
it?
yeah, but as far as I know, it's just Universal Studios Florida is the only one that's gonna have the Kong ride in the DK World or whatever. So
Huh.
looking forward to that. I think the park opens up next year, sometime 2025. So yeah, something to look forward to.
It's coming up. Yeah, it's actually pretty quick.
But here before we know it, like the
Oh
entire
yeah.
park looks amazing. But I'm very excited. That's like one of my top rides that I am looking forward to. So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still haven't. I mean, I haven't been to Universal in 15 years, so I definitely need to go
Mhm.
at some point. But I really do want to go to the Super Mario Land
Mhm.
area, so it might be worth a trip next year.
Oh yeah, we got to
So it's the one in Florida for everything.
yeah, road trip. We'll just all go on a
Yeah,
road
hey,
trip
let's
and
do it.
we'll go to Universal, probably possibly hit up some Disney, but definitely we'll make sure that we get on the Donkey Kong ride.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely excited for that one.
Mhm. That's some good random tangents that we got on. I have no idea.
Yeah,
We went from Twisted Metal to
I think we got there with the rental with that
yeah,
somewhere in the range.
Twisted Metal to rentals to roller coasters based off of video games.
You
Yeah.
know what? It was Mega Man. It was Mega Man Legends. Yep. Huh. You see what memories do.
Yeah, yeah. You can't
I've
always
literally scrolled through for the last 3 minutes at PS1 covers and finally found it.
there you go.
There we go.
And
Okay.
it was not Bomberman. I was hoping you were gonna say it is Bomberman, but
No. It was okay, yep, Mega Man Legends. This is the one.
I'm gonna look it up now. Mega Man Legends. Oh yeah, I don't think I've played it, but it looks familiar. I think I've seen it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've definitely never played it. Those are some awesome graphics.
Oh, yeah. It's a product of the time for
Oh
sure.
yeah, that's that dude's like Blockman.
Oh, yeah, no, he doesn't have a lot of shape to him besides
Yeah,
just his
no, no,
voice.
it's yeah, but hey, that's what you had back then. But
Hey, you do what you gotta do. I mean, you look at old gameplay of games that you played back then too, and you remember them better,
oh
and then
yeah,
you start looking back at it, and you're like, "Ooh."
yeah,
Like, I love like, PS1 for me was my, like, introduction to video games, like,
hmm
console video games, and I have tons of great memories with the PS1, but it is one of those it didn't age well. It's hard to get into, especially, like, even N64 too, like, I play both, like, I love both, but they definitely haven't aged well from a graphic standpoint.
yeah.
The next level, the GameCube, PS2 is definitely easier to digest now than,
Mhm.
like, a PS1 or N64.
Oh, yeah.
But we wouldn't have what we have now without it, so
Yeah, but hey, it's okay. They're even though that was yeah, these days you're like, "Oh, wow, I used to think this was amazing," but sometimes you play and you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is still incredible," and then there's times where you play something that you thought was amazing, you're like, "Oh, this is horrible," and
oh, yeah.
I thought this was fun back then, which it happens. You'll have those games that you've
Oh, it
just
happens.
thought were the best thing since sliced bread, and you're like, "Oh, I need to play this game again. I remember it being so awesome," and then you play it and you're like, "Oh, no, this is not
Oh,
what
yeah.
I remember."
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we video games had to walk before they could run, and
Yep.
there's a lot of games that you have to appreciate for what
Oh,
they've
yeah.
done for gaming,
Now these games
but
are really
they're
winning.
they're difficult to
Mhm.
get back to. Like, for me, like, the golden example is GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I mean, revolutionary game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, crazy landscape of first person shooters.
Mhm.
It is a great game.
It
The
is.
controls are hot trash.
Yeah, it's especially now when you just if you compare a modern shooter to that, it's super it's hard to play it because I'm like, I'm trying to aim, I'm trying to do all these things that you would do in a modern shooter, and it just doesn't exist in that game. And
No,
it makes it really hard at that point because I'm so spoiled with shooter games today. It's just so different. But yeah, you got to walk before you could run. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. But we have what we have now because of it. So
hmm So it's okay. Speaking of one, I know we're getting almost an hour, but it's random, but I still want you to buy it, and that's the Spider-Man. You really need to buy the Spider-Man. You can talk more about it, but I'm just gonna start with you need to do it as your financial advisor with Stonks. You
true,
just
true.
need to buy the Spider-Man because it'll be awesome. Where you'll put it, no idea, but you just need to do it.
Uh, yeah, it's super cool though. So a friend of mine sent me a Facebook Marketplace ad a few days ago and said, and he called me immediately and said, "Hey, do you like Spider Man?" I was like, "Yeah, I like Spider Man." He's like, "No, no, do you really like Spider Man?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Spider Man. Like, what are you getting at? Like, I like it." And he's like, "Here," and he sent me the link, and it's a life size Spider Man from Spider Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, and it was a blockbuster exclusive, like life size statue with like a full cloth suit. It's numbered. I think they only made like 4,600 of them or something like that. It has the blockbuster tag on it. All of it super super cool. It's local, so we can go pick it up, and it's a great price. The problem is, it's definitely worse for wear. Like it's been left in the garage for a long time, so you can definitely see that. But it is really really cool. So I sent it to Ed, and I said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And obviously, he told me I should just buy it,
Yeah.
um, because you're terrible with my
I'm a
money.
bad financial. If he sends me anything, I'm more than likely gonna say buy it.
Yeah, you just say buy it.
I don't think
And
I
then my other
yeah.
friend was like, "Hey, can you buy this?" I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I really want to see it and I don't want to buy it." I'm like, "What? No, like that's not how this works." Like, no, it's a $650 statue. Now, in great condition, they can go for like $2,500 to $4,000. This one's not in great condition,
Seems like a great
but
deal
it
to
is
me.
cool. I mean, hey, eh, someone will find love and joy in that thing, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just a little bit too beat up.
if you think he needs to buy, just put it in the comments, and there's 100 comments, you'll have to buy it. That yep.
I mean, yeah, 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 sure, sure, but it's cool. It's really cool, and I didn't realize that Blockbuster did some of that stuff when that came out, but it's a really cool piece. I can't argue with it,
Mhm.
but I don't know what I need a life-size Tobey Maguire Spider-Man statue for.
Because it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and there's some great memes that came out of that Spider-Man, like,
There is, but that's not a good enough reason for me to buy a life-size Spider-Man.
That's good enough reason for me." Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
checks. Yeah, yeah. And this is why you're not my
Yeah,
financial
this is
advisor.
why I am this is why I should not be a financial advisor, but,
Yep.
hey, you still
Why I spend my own money
yeah,
and you don't tell me.
you still ask me, so, if you
Hmm.
can I'll still, as long as you
Yeah,
continue
I
to
need to
ask me, I
stop
will
because when
continue
I ask you, all of my asks are, "Should I buy this?" And you don't even know what I'm buying, and you say yes.
yeah, I say yes.
It's like you don't even know what I'm buying, and you're like, "Yeah, yes,
Yeah, I'm like, "Yes, do it."
yeah." It's not responsible.
Or
We're
maybe
mature adults over here,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
And that's just not responsible.
yeah, like the other day when you sent me, it was for Star Wars Day, I think you sent me a couple things, I'm like, "You should definitely buy it."
Oh yeah, I definitely bought some of those.
Yeah, but it was actually really cool, it was actually really, really I'm just saying you're right, Disney went all out for Star Wars, and they had some so if you
It's
really like
They did
Star
some
Wars,
good stuff.
they had some good stuff on there.
Definitely picked up a new lightsaber on May the
Oh,
4th.
nice.
So
What lightsaber did you pick up?
Ahsoka Tano's
Nice.
from the Clone Wars series, so it's a little bit more animated look. I already
Mm,
have one of hers, but this was a different version, which is the one I wanted. So they finally got it back in stock. So I definitely got that one.
yeah.
I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to that one for a while.
you've got a really
Um,
yeah, your lightsaber collection's really cool.
it is. There's a few more to add, but it's growing and growing. We we went to Disney a couple weeks ago, and at at Disney they have like the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge land now, but in Disney Springs, which is their outdoor shopping area, they have a couple Star Wars stores. And if you're not familiar with the Legacy lightsabers, they sell like nice quality, like metal, like not toy quality, like more display collector quality lightsabers there. And I went up and I was trying to. I've bought a bunch of them for the last couple of years, and I went to the counter and was looking through, and I wanted to see if they had any new ones. So I'm looking through everything, and the guy's like, "Oh, hey, did you want to touch any of these?" And I looked, and I was like, "No, man, sorry. Like, I already own all these. My bad." And then I walked out. It was kind of a douchey comment, I guess, but like they
Yeah.
didn't have anything new, so
Yeah.
it's just sorry.
No, I've already got all this stuff.
I already got all this. I'm pretty cool, you
I'm
know.
pretty cool. I've got all the sabers. I don't need any of your stuff.
Yeah, I don't want any of your dumb sabers.
Yep.
But yeah, they do a really good job with their lightsabers. Their legacy lightsabers are phenomenal. And
Mhm.
I've got a
Just a
couple of them.
couple. Yeah, just one or two.
Just a couple. Yeah, but they're fun and they keep coming out with really cool ones.
Yeah, and it's a great conversation starter too. It's a great, so just
Oh
someone walks
man,
in your
I've
house, they're like, "Wow, those are cool lightsabers," and then makes for good conversation starter there.
hey, I've had multiple delivery guys stop
Mhm.
and come in and look at my lightsaber wall. So
Yeah,
my lightsaber, I have a wall of lightsabers with, my 2 or 3 lightsabers.
yeah, 2 or 3. Yep.
And it's right at the front. Like when you look through the front door and open the door, you can see this wall of lightsabers. So I had a couple FedEx guys. One had seen it before, but my wife answered the door a couple of times with him. So I finally did. And he's like, "Oh, here's your package." He's like, "Oh, you're the lightsaber house. I need to come look at it. You get anything new?" And I was like, "Yeah, come on in." So I showed him all the new ones. And then I had it a few months ago. A new guy was like, "Are those lightsabers on your wall?" I was like, "Yeah." Oh. I was like, "You want to come see him?" He's like, "Yeah." So came in and looked at him, and I mean, I've had 5-minute conversations with just random FedEx
You're
drivers
become
about.
you're becoming gonna become friends with all the FedEx drivers.
Oh yeah, they're just like, "Oh, you're the lightsaber house." Like, oh, well, I guess there's worse things to be known for.
There's worse things. But no, and
Yeah,
honestly, it really is cool. So, if you're a FedEx guy and you ever end up at his house, you'll know. You'll be like,
hey, there you go.
and he'll be like, "Hey, you're also the podcast guy because I listen to your podcast."
Hey,
And
that
now,
works for me.
yep. So there you go. You never know. So, yep, we're gonna just befriend all the FedEx people.
Hey, that's okay. You got to be friends with your postal people, your
Yep. They deliver you stuff.
USPS, your UPS, your FedEx. Treat them right.
Treat them right because they bring you. They do a lot of work to bring you
They're the ones who
happiness.
bring your video games and your lightsabers and
Yep, and
collectibles.
all the random stuff that I tell you to buy.
Yes, and the life size Spider-Man statue that Ed's gonna buy for his apartment. I mean, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, I can't. That Spider-Man is bigger than my apartment complex.
Well, I mean that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, I'll
You're
just
telling me to buy it. I mean, I guess you got to buy it now.
I'll just set him like by a window where he's just constantly staring outside.
You got to like peek the curtain a little bit and just
Yeah,
have like one eye looking out.
yeah, one eye looking out, and maybe I'll just have him holding a lightsaber as well.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
I mean, doesn't Disney own Marvel and Star Wars?
Yeah,
So I mean, that's
do
not
whatever.
outside of the
Yeah, it's not
realm.
outside, and the multiverse is ginormous. You never know what could happen in the multiverse.
You can have a Marvel Star Wars crossover. You don't know.
It'd actually be pretty cool. There
That
can be
actually would be pretty cool.
lots of cool stuff can come out of that. Like that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they could do it. The multiverse is vast and endless.
Yep, it is. It's endless.
But you know what does have an end? Our podcast,
Oh
unfortunately.
no!
I know, but
Oh,
guess what? There'll be another episode
no!
next
I
week,
know.
and we're gonna have more videos out. So you're gonna get
Mhm.
plenty of odd gaming content and more coming out. But remember, definitely tell us some ideas. Like we're excited to kind of start this new chapter of the odd gaming, family. And definitely would like to hear some ideas on different types of content, different games to play, different things to talk about. So we definitely warrant it. We're super excited for it. Again, keep a lookout for some of the new videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. Definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Instagram. Make sure you keep following and liking our podcast. Definitely helps, and we definitely appreciate it.
What he said.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But
Yep.
anyways, on that note, thank y'all so much for listening. And until next time, peace out and game on.
Peace.